Hi, Gwemi, can you hear me? Can we go live now? Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome back. Hello. Hi, everyone. Good evening. I trust you all have been well. And it's such an honor to come to the last session for today. We will be having one of the phenomenal writers in our time with multiple publication in different magazines, platforms, and organizations. Renowned, not just organization, renowned ones, especially those in other countries beyond Nigeria and within Nigeria. So if you are with us here tonight and you can see me and you can hear me, do want to leave a comment. Leave a comment. Let's know you're here. You've joined us because our speaker tonight is bringing an in-depth knowledge. He is a graduate of. He graduated from the Department of English and English Studies and Literature, and he has so much knowledge around writing, and not just writing, as you all know. This particular session is about publication on international platforms and how to do that submission, how to even know platforms where you should make such submission and how to submit on those platforms. Our speaker is already back end here. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. I'll introduce him. His name is Samuel Nnadi, quite a knowledgeable young man who has gone beyond the shores of Nigeria and gone. His writings have gone beyond the shores of Nigeria and reached across countries like Canada, US, and the likes of them. So, without further ado, let's quickly make welcome Samuel Nnadi as he come and educate us on the importance of taking your writings to important platforms and how to locate the right platforms and how to make it. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Thank you so much. It's such a
Yeah,
privilege to have you here. Thank you so much for sharing this moment. We look forward to an amazing session. You can turn on your camera if the environment will permit that, but if you don't, just go ahead with the session.
yeah. Thank you for having me. And I'm so sorry I can't turn on my camera right now because I'm currently at home. So you pardon me for that.
Okay, no
Please, if you
problem.
want to go ahead.
All right, you can go ahead, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, good evening, everyone, and thank you for having me. And thanks to the organizers for bringing me on to speak briefly on this topic. Pardon me once again for not being able to turn on my camera. I'm not currently in a convenient environment. So the topic before us is how to leverage national and international platforms to showcase your writing. And one of the things I would like you to know is, firstly, you need to know your audience. And by knowing your audience, I mean you have to ask yourself, are you a page poet or are you a performance poet? You need to find your stronger foot and take full advantage of it. I myself, I started out as a performance poet during my undergraduate years. I mean, then we only knew poetry to be just rhymes and readings. So what I did at that point in time was find a smaller room and try to record myself trying to become a performance artist basically. But as time went on, I discovered that I had a flair for the stage aspect of writing. So I started submitting the year 2020, and from there things got better. So basically, one of the things I would like to let you know is you need to know your audience. Ask yourself, are you a page poet or are you a performance poet? The second thing I would like to have you know is know your market and its demands. I mean, if you are going to submit to a particular place, you need to know what they actually want, what they buy to, and where their biases lies, what is in demand basically in the market. So, from my own perspective, if you are going to submit to a magazine, for example, you need to save up their pages. There are a lot of published magazines online there. So, what I do for myself is I save up pages, try to master their techniques, learn the things that I'm missing in my writing, and implement them in my writing. There are a handful of topics which you would find relevant and are almost inexhaustible till tomorrow in the international market. I'll just name a few briefly. One of it is the Black experience. And by Black experience, I mean racial discrimination, colonialism, slave trade, the pre colonial, post colonial era, and poverty being in a third world country. I mean, some critics have gone ahead to call it poverty porn. That is, trying to make out our poverty in order to for publication credits, basically. But that's a topic for another day. One of the topics which remains relevant in the international market is the Black experience, which as I've earlier mentioned, is racial discrimination and colonialism and all of that. The second topic, which will remain relevant till tomorrow, is feminism. As we know, what feminism is discrimination, subjugation of women, in the society. These are topics that the whites don't joke with at all, or the Westerners, as the case may be. Then the third topic, there are a lot of topics actually, but I'll just highlight three here for the sake of time. The third topic is the right of the LGBTQ to live and express themselves freely. So these topics are what the Westerners or the international market tend to vibe to rather. So it's not just knowing these topics. It's one thing to know the topic, it's another thing to write about it. So as much as you know the topic, you need to make your own researches. You need to make your own researches because you are not just a poet for poet's sake. You are writing to reflect the society, the ills and the do's and don'ts, the ills of society. The society looks up to poets mostly to right the wrongs of the world. So you need to have a broad knowledge of the topic you are actually writing on. So history is your friend, basically. The internet is your friend. You can always seek out this topic, browse them out, exhaust them, before you venture into writing. So that's about knowing your market and its demand. Then the third thing I would like to highlight here is so having known all of this, you've known your audience, you've known the market and its demand. You have to pay attention to your cover letter. The cover letter is one of the most important things as a writer. You know, some writers, or let's say most writers, tend to ignore this part of it, but this is the first thing that the editor comes in contact with. So you have to make it brief and concise, but still carries, the meaning. You don't need to bore the editor with long notes of the cover letter. It should just be brief, but still carry, your message. It's just like selling yourself out there, you know. So the cover letter must be brief, concise, and but still carry your message. It is as important as your writing. Yes, it is as important as your writing. Your cover letter is as important as your writing. So you need to, tidy that part of your pitch. Then the fourth thing is consistency. Although this should come before the cover letter aspect, but consistency both in writing and reading. I say consistency. It sounds cliche, right? But consistency is important. One of the most ideal things a writer needs to have, you know, consistency in reading, writing. Reading goes hand in hand with writing. So a reader is a writer is a reader. And I will tell you one thing for free. A consistent or hardworking person is more, or consistency or hard work is more important than talent. It beats it any day. Consistency beats talent any day. You can have all the talent in the world and be in your room. If you don't put yourself out there, if you don't show up every day, you can't break through the literary scene. So consistency, as cliche as it sounds, is very important, in writing. So the fifth aspect of this, which I'm talking about, is the long wait. So having implemented some of these things into your writing, you submitted, and now the wait. Every writer requires patience. Writing requires patience itself. Patience both in building your writing and in submitting. So magazines take months to reply, even up to a year, and even years to reply your submissions. So a writer needs to have patience. These things take time. It doesn't just come up just get published in a year or in a year. It took about 4 years now. I'm still counting. Yeah, so every writer requires patience. You know. Then the sixth aspect, I'm sure most of us don't want to hear this, but rejection. The rejection is a major part of writing. You know, it's inevitable. It's inevitable for a writer. I mean, I can't count my right now. Even as I am speaking to you, I'm sure there's a rejection coming in right now. So the rejection is inevitable in writing. I personally start my rejections in my email. You know. So what I actually do is when I submit that piece, I just be rest assured I'm working on something else. So whenever the rejection comes, I know I have something to send back to them. So you need to cherish your rejection love letters. So that's how much you cherish it. For you to improve as a writer. So rejection is inevitable, but also important, you know, in leveraging the international sense because you are competing with not just yourself, not just your country, you are competing with the world at large. So rejection is a major aspect of this particular niche in trying to break through the international market or scene. Then the eighth thing I'll be talking about is celebrating your wins. So having gone through the rejection phase now, you've managed to get an acceptance or to, I would say you give yourself credit. I mean, it's not an easy journey, to come that far. So you give yourself credits. No one will give you validation if you don't give yourself. I mean, so you need to validate yourself for others to, validate you. Writing is a very, very lonely journey. Yes, it is a very lonely journey. It's just you and yourself in your room, trying to write, struggling to put yourself out there. So if you don't, if you manage to get that break, I would say you give yourself, credit for that. So you need to celebrate your wins as much as you can. Then be loud about your art. Be loud about your art. I would say you blow your trumpet as much as you can. I mean, I can't count the number of times when I shared a particular publication or an award, online, and start getting solicitations, not just from national but international bodies. So I would say be loud about your art. Nobody will blow your trumpet for you if you don't blow your trumpet for yourself. Be loud about your art. So which brings me to my very last point because I'll be speaking briefly, due to my environment. The last point being build an online presence. You need to build an online presence. I'll say online presence. Basically, we're talking Twitter, Facebook, your Instagram account. As a writer, although many writers feel that writing in solitude and letting your work speak for itself is best. But I would say no. You need to build an online presence, build a community of writers, you know, for your work to, thrive through these international scenes. So I will be stopping here right now for any questions or to accommodate your questions if there are any. Thank you very much.
Wow, wow, wow. That's insightful. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes. Let me put me on. So
Yeah, if
obviously,
there are any
just
questions.
like you said, yes, please, if you have question, do well to type it in as soon as you can. As our speaker will be leaving, he has other engagements he's in at the moment. So if you have a question, please type it in the comment section so he will address that. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. It's such an honor to have you share this knowledge with us. I thought it's just me. True, writing can be that lonely. You are just there struggling. And sometimes after the struggle, you get rejection, or people will not even appreciate because some of them do not even know how much work you put in to put out such level of knowledge or such level of information. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Consistency is not a cliche. It is a must
Yeah, yeah.
have. It's one of the must.
The line is breaking, but I can barely hear you. But thank you.
Okay. I think it's the mic. I don't know. Is it okay now? All right. Everyone listening to us, I believe you got value and you have a better understanding on how to leverage other platforms. Just like Mr. Samuel have said, it is competitive. Nobody is sitting back there waiting for you to submit so that they will read and approve you. There are tons of amazing ones. Okay, there is a question in the comment section. I want to pursue a niche in tourism as a writer. How do you think I should begin my pursuit? From Esosa. Esosa. Please, can you see the question on the screen, sir? Right? Can you hear me now? Okay, there is a question on the screen. Yes, okay. So he's about to answer the question. He will be answering it now.
That correctly. Did I get that correctly, please?
Okay, can you take it again? We can't hear you. It seems your mic is
Hello, can you
muted.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Okay. I believe you got value. I think we are having network glitches. Sorry, Chinenye Mbekulu. Mbekulu. I think it's the network. I can't also hear him from my end. I hope he will be back soon. Okay. He said he will be answering in the comment section for network sake. So I'm going to read it out. A source's question. I'll be reading it out as he drop it. So far, so good. As we wait for the response, I need you to understand that when it comes to submission, like he said, no platform is waiting for you to submit. Everyone is on the queue. So you have to make yourself outstanding and write something tangible enough and acceptable enough. And there is one other thing he said that I love so much. If you want to compete with the global stage and to the national stage, then you have to intentionally be acquainted with rejection because you will receive them, I mean, tons of them. I personally, I've received two rejections this month, only this month. But we will, right? Life goes on. We don't have to keep on holding on to things that do not work. You just have to move on, start a new application. After all, mine is application, not really submission. But when it comes to the global stage or the national stage, you have to intentionally open your heart to rejection and understand that maybe you are such a good writer, but not good enough for their probably their taste, their demand, or the purpose they want to meet. So it is advisable to intentionally learn how to accept rejection, right? Learn how to focus on the results you want. So as soon as you're making submissions, start writing something, just like he said. Because when you have a lot of things to hold on to. Like when you get a rejection and you already know that another application can go on immediately, it will be a lot easier for you to achieve a better result or console yourself because you'll be like, oh, well, I've been rejected, but I still have something to move on with, something to go on in my life with. Be loud about your art. This is one of the things writers do not do well. They don't do so much. So many writers are so lazy, or do I say so what's the word now? They are so some of them are so insecure about their craft. They're not sure whether the world will like them, whether they are good enough, and whatnot. And you always have that one person telling you, oh, your grammar is bad. You made mistake in so and so places. You also have someone telling you, oh, you can improve. You're not doing enough for your qualifications and whatnot. However, Mr. Samuel today is telling you and I to own your craft, be loud about it, blow your trumpet, because nobody will do that for you except you. Embrace your journey, embrace your growth, and be intentional about improving yourself, not so you can please the world, uh, not so you can be like other people. It's just so that you will become a better version of yourself and achieve your desired goal to be able to feature in international and national magazine as the occasion calls for it. So tonight, as we hopefully, I'm going to Esosa. Please keep an eye on this comment. I will have to post his answers as a comment when eventually he send it, because network is quite bad from his end. And we're going to end this live session right now. If you have a great time learning and understanding how the international and national platform work, do well to leave a comment. Let us know you enjoyed it. Let us know you learned something. Let us know that our speaker did justice to that topic. He said, know your audience, know what their focus is. Is it on gender? Is it on poverty eradication? Is it on war, crisis, and whatnot? So it is very important that, okay, the the answer has been released. So you can hear me, right? He answered to your question, Esosa, that tourism is a beautiful niche. He said, find like mind. I would say you find like mind, yes. So he said, as a beginner, you should find like minds, network with people who share the same goals as you. Tourism also requires fun to experience what you aim to put in writing. So watch out for that. Apply for fun, apply for fellowships. Yes, that's the part I'm telling you. I received a rejection. Yes, I've applied for a couple of fellowships. And if you ever get it, that would be a game changer for you. I keep you. There are so many experiences you have. Now, when you're writing about Paris, when you're writing about London, when you're writing about New York and whatnot, you're no longer writing by things you see on YouTube, things you see on websites and whatnot. You will now write about personal experience. You stepped your foot on those particular countries, on those particular special places like the museum in Kenya, the zoo in Kenya, and all of the beautiful places across Africa and America, Asia, and all of those continents. It is important, like he said in his answers, that you should find like minds. You should try to network with people of the same goal. And the internet has made it a lot possible. If you go to Facebook now, type tourism writers, there is a very great chance that you will find a group chat with that name. You will find, if you go to LinkedIn, you type that, you're going to find group chat, you're going to find people who have it. Once you type tourism writers or even tourism experts, you're going to see tons of them, their profile, add them, see their content, see how they do it, talk to them, find out how they assess their point, find out how you can. And if you are in the community, most communities share opportunities, they share ideas with those of like mind in their group. So I believe right now you have a better knowledge of your answer. You now have a better knowledge of your question, Esosa. Uh, Please let me know in the comment section that you heard the answers and they answered your question. To do that, we'll call it a night. Thank you so much to everyone for joining. As you know, on Friday, we had some internet glitches that prevented two of our speakers from joining. So I beg you to please stay around, as tomorrow we have the confidence of a writer, how to build your confidence, how to maximize it, how to enhance it, how to maintain it in your journey as a writer. And on Tuesday, we'll be having none else but Precious Oshika. She'll be coming to teach us how to write the book and why. Okay, so stay tuned. 7 p.m. is the time. Those dates were not originally part of our plan, but because of the network and the third world country which we are in, Nigeria, we have to succumb to the network challenge. However, we already found a solution by rescheduling their sessions so that you get a full package of all this particular summit is all about. Do well to send the link to someone to watch a replay and ensure that you follow through. And I want to give you a secret. For those of you that will be joining us tomorrow, I will be sharing insights on how to negotiate your price as a writer. I know so many people, once they get their first writing gig, their second one, and whatnot, they come running to my inbox. Hey, someone came to me, they want so and so. How do I charge them? So many writers do not even have knowledge on how to go about this. And I will be giving you a first-hand knowledge on that. And guess what? A book is also coming up on that. I don't want to give you a full picture. Don't tell nobody. I don't want to talk about the book. But once it's out, you're going to know. But tomorrow, by God's grace, I will be sharing how to negotiate, because you need to stop leaving money on the table. Most of you leave money on the table, right? See you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Invite someone alongside you. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. It's such an honor to have you here. I had a good time and a great time learning from you. Thank you to everyone joining us. I look forward to see you tomorrow. Thank you. Do have an amazing night. Rest.